Her name is YupThatsScary Little, creator of host of horror movies and beyond. The platform focuses on movie reviews and interviews with horror content creators, writers, actors, producers, and directors. She gives an in-depth look into the story structure, characters, and performances, and overall creativity of the film. She hopes to stimulate curiosity and encourage moviegoers to focus on the underlying messages. In turn, she strives to keep horror film industry thriving and motivate future filmmakers to push themselves into innovative ideas. You guys, she is the Oprah Winfrey of horror, and I want to show you guys a clip of her. Here is YupThatsScary. Check her out.
So I'm interviewing content creators, horror content creators, and filmmakers, and we are reviewing movies, or I'm interviewing the directors, writers, producers, everything under the sun. They're movies that are currently streaming on Shudder. And it's hard work, but I love interviewing people. And I learn every interview I learn something about myself. I make mistakes. I mess up names. I'm worried how I look. I try to feed off the energy of who I'm interviewing, and sometimes that's tough.
You guys, ladies and gentlemen, here is YupThatsScary Little. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Wow.
Let me bring in everybody.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Hello.
Okay, so let me say this. YupThatsScary, I remember when you came onto the scene, and I was like, who is this Nubian queen coming into the horror scene, taking it by storm? And I've watched you grow ever since then, and you've grown like leaps and bounds, and you've doing so much. And let me tell you, you have been my inspiration into doing this, because when I was dealing with Hollywood and just talking to so many people and getting different treatments and pitching shows, they were like, Willie, you got to do a podcast, you got to do something, you got to vlog, get out there, you have to have a consistent voice. And I was like, I don't know how, and I don't know what to do. And I watched you hit the scene, and you guys, when she hit the scene, and she was like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I'm about. And I love that. And I'm so happy. When I first did the show, I was like, I gotta get you on this show. And I'm so happy that we follow each other and we support one another. And I just want to say thank you for being here and being an awesome representation of us into the community and on the scene. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Now I gotta give you some applause. I'm going there, YupThatsScary. I am going there. So yeah, so let's just dive in and let's talk. Let's talk, guys. So first of all, YupThatsScary, why horror movies?
Well, I've always been a movie person, like every genre. Horror is just something that I grew up in. My family, that was a normal thing. It was just normal from since I was like this big. The first horror movie was The Thing. I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it terrified me, believe me. But it's just, I don't know. It was just a normal thing. We just put on a horror movie. I mean, I've watched like He-Man, Voltron, Thundercats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To kind of tell you how old I am. But as far as like horror movies, I didn't like watch them continuously until probably about 9-10 years old. It was like normal. We just go get pizza, soda, candy, whatever, and just like put all the pillows on the floor, blankets, and just pop in Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and some worse than that, Dolls, Child's Play. It was, and going to the movies, I saw Pet Sematary, Candyman.
Oh yeah.
The Blob, and then there were a lot of mom and pop theaters that had a lot
Yeah.
of B movies, what people don't believe. So Ghoulies and Critters and
Oh,
Demons.
yeah.
Yes.
And then go to the drive-in when it was popular. I mean, it was packed. It was crazy.
You
And that's
preach
why
it now.
the what did I saw? Evil Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Terminator 2. And the Abyss and like all that. It's just normal.
Right. So were you like afraid seeing all this stuff? Because I mean, I remember seeing, Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like definitely afraid.
Actually, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween franchise, they never scared me. I didn't find them scary at all. Actually, number 3, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is my favorite, and I saw that as a child. So
wow.
I actually had a crush on Freddy.
She got a long side, everybody. Let's go.
It was weird. It was a little crush on Freddy, and that wasn't until Freddy's dead. So I don't know why. Don't ask. And then I had a little crush on Chucky from Chelsea. It was number 2. No one didn't really scare me. I mean, it was a little frightening, but it wasn't like, oh my God. I actually wanted the doll, and they did sell the dolls in store.
Yeah,
I
remember that.
Time. So, but I never got one because my mom was like, "Oh hell no!" So
you have that now.
Now they're expensive. They're like $3,000 just to get one.
I mean, you know what I mean? They're pricey. Yeah. So, and then the last crush on some creature thing was this is kind of weird. It's Pets. No, not Pets.
Wait, what?
I was say not Pet Secretary.
No.
I don't know. Mr. Monster was in it
because there's so many movies. It's Puppet Master.
Puppet Master.
Wait, what?
It was the dolls. I don't know why I had a thing for the dolls,
but you do. And I know. Yeah, right here. We got the exclusive right here, y'all. Oh, yep, that's scary.
But not the movie doll. The dolls scared me. I don't like porcelain dolls because of that movie, because I think they're little people. And they were little people. For people to know, there wasn't dolls. They were little people. They had bones and muscles and blood. So
can I ask you a question? Did you see Tales from the Hood?
Yes.
Tales from the Hood? With the little ones? The little ones?
Yeah. They call
what? Those? Wait,
can I say what they were?
Yeah.
Because people podcast be like, oh, you can't, they're little
say that.
nigglets.
No, you can say AO here. We say it. We can say it.
The little nigglets. Yeah.
The little nigglets that's running up. So they were running. And I was like, don't do it. I was like,
that one, Tales from the Hood, it wasn't scary. It just really get you because there was a message in all of them. So,
all of the stories.
Yeah. So
you know what? It's so funny. We're doing a new segment called Versus, where we take the villains and the movies and we compare them to see which one's going to win. On the list, you guys, we added Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Hood.
Nice.
And we're going to see which storylines and everything's going to win. So I'm really excited to see that. So Evil Trust, we will have to have you back to talk about some of that stuff, because we are literally taking movies and comparing them and seeing if they can battle and if one villain can win. It's gonna be interesting. Look, she's
no, because I know you said Tales from the Crypt, but look at the Mortuary Collection.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys by Ryan Spindell, because he was a huge fan of Tales from the Hood. And if you watch them, they're parallel because he took the inspiration from that. So, and I knew that when I interviewed him and I was looking at that, I was like, that's Tales from the Hood. And when I talked to him, he said yes.
Oh my God.
I will say, take a look at it. It's on Shudder. Just watch it. You're going to sit there and just like, it's the structure, like,
everything. Okay.
Yeah. Let me say this. Evil Tress is again killing the game. She's on Shudder. I watched one of your films, the recent one of My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I'm just like, she's meeting with these actors and directors, and I'm so proud of you. So here's a question for you: when you interview your favorite actor or director, what do you what do you do to control your excitement? Like your favorite actor or director, what do you do to control yourself? Because I can't even control myself now.
That's a tough question because I treat all my guests the same. So it doesn't matter if they have a blockbuster hit or they're famous. Like when you're on my show, it's like I'm excited to talk to you. I don't know. Like it's just weird. Like I do fangirl. There's only one time I did completely fangirl.
It was
That
no
was,
Please tell.
and that
please
was
tell.
with Keith David when I did the Black Horror, and he was one of the guests along with oh my god, I hope I remember Rod. It was Rod Digga, it was Tony Newkirk, Keith David, and Ernest Dickinson.
Wow.
So when they were popping up, because you wait, it was Zoom, and then it was hosted by my friend Cody, who does Nostalgic Nebula. And as their names were popping up, I was sitting there looking. I was like, "Wow, I can't." It's a weird feeling, and I was excited. But I'm a huge fan of The Thing. The Thing is my number one movie of all time, above any movie ever played ever in life.
Wow.
So,
Oh yeah, you can preach that. That's a badass movie. That's top 10. That's right up there.
So when I saw Keith David name, I was just like, okay, don't, because this is like it was hosted by us, me and Cody, but it was run by Fangoria. So we were like, okay, we can't be, we have to be professional. And then he popped in, and I looked at him, I was like, oh my god! But I met him before that, when they were doing the 35th anniversary of The Thing at Sun or Mossapalooza, one of them. That was tough because all 5 actors were there, and keeping it together. That's when I did all,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. It is tough, but I have to realize that this is a professional setting, because if you want them to come back, see, that's the thing. If you're sitting there just fangirling or fanboying over them and not getting to the point of why they're there, time is precious. They're doing this for free most of the time, like, because obviously I ain't paying them. So I don't got money like that. But you know what I'm saying? They're taking their time, where they could be on like Entertainment Tonight or something where they probably get something. So you have to realize that and just be professional as much as possible. So
wow.
That sounds like that might be difficult, because somebody who's like in something that I really love and enjoy, I'll be fanboying out or something, but hey, but I got a question. I saw on your site, that's one of the things I got real excited for seeing you, is like top 5 underrated movies was the 2010 Wolfman. That movie has a special place in my heart. I think that was one of the earliest whole R-rated movies I could go see. And my dad, it came out in February, so it was right on my birthday. I think I turned like 11. So that was super exciting for me to go see. And I wanted to know what movie came out that made you want to get into reviewing. It's like, what movie is like, hey, I want to talk about this. I want to let it be a bad movie or a good movie. Like what was that? What movie was that?
Like since I started horror movies, or just
what movie made you want to start reviewing?
Oh, start the whole like. Now that's a tough one. That's a tough one because, okay, beforehand I used to interview people on my blog, and that was when I was called Nerdtastic Girl. And that one I used to go to like WonderCon, LA Comic Con, and it wasn't horror, it was just everybody.
Okay.
And the thing was that I just knew that was something I wanted to do. So interviewing came first. Reviewing was later, much later. It was a couple of years ago, and it started when when I was on Dead Meat podcast. That's where it really kind of like, okay, this is something I want to do, even though I was like tapping into it a little bit. But I knew once I was on that podcast, it was something definitely I wanted to do. And I did 3. And the first one where I went like all out was Reanimator. And
that's such a messed up movie. Oh my God.
Did I see that in the theater or at the drive-in? I don't know. But the Reanimator was something I could relate to, because that's when I started looking further into the character. Not just, it was just this, he just bring people alive with the reagent and whatever, but he was a misunderstood genius. And yes, his work kind of failed in certain ways, but he never had time to develop it because he was just trying to go for it, and no one could, give him an opportunity or the resources. So he can only use what he had. So that's when I was like, okay, this is something I want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, we got adding the human side to the character. I love that. I love that. I would never expect Reanimate. I can remember, God, it's been years since I watched that movie. It's like, if we're thinking of the same movie, he has the head and then he puts it up, oh God, I don't even want to say that stuff out loud. That's a messed up movie. The 80s were crazy. Was it the 80s?
But you gotta love them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your personal goals as a movie reviewer?
My personal goals is to show people that no matter what they're going through, they can always do something extraordinary.
That's
so
good.
I mean, I know
that.
it's kind of, it's just, I don't know, because none of this is easy for me. And what I mean, not speaking to anyone or not doing what I'm doing, is just that outside of the cameras, it's been rough. I've been going through a lot of rough patches, but yet when I'm on camera and talking to people, it's like home. It's the way to escape. And it's my never-ending story.
What a way to escape with something you love. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when the cameras go off, it's still hard, because now, I'm back to reality and I'm trying to get to the next thing. And I'm hoping that what I'm doing becomes a permanent reality. That's my goal. But
is it the hustle and bustle that you're finding that is difficult to cope with, or is it just the fact that you're just not in your everyday life, or because you're not in your element?
It's actually both of them. Because for a person I suffer from depression my entire life, started as a child, and so I'm not ashamed to say it, because I think more people who are suffering from it should be able to say it, because it is true.
Absolutely.
Like, it is something that can really mess you up. Stress and anxiety and stuff could kill you faster than any disease.
You
literally.
And in the entertainment industry, that's what it is. That's there. And you have to learn how to deal with it, or cope, or even find a mechanism to get you through it. But I understand, because I've dealt with it. How do you find ways to kind of get you through it, other than using your escape to cope through it?
Well, see, you got these tough questions, which I like. Yeah. Well, to cope with it, there was a lot of factors, because I went through counseling, I went through medication, hospitalization, like all these things. And then I had to realize that one of my problems is that I try to change others without changing myself or my situation. And it's just something, it's hard to explain, so I'm not going to explain that part. But it was just
but you're telling the truth though, and that's all.
I'm right there. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's really tough. And then the other part was, I was always trying to change things I had no control over, and that is the hardest thing, because I'm an overthinker, which helps when I do these interviews. But I'm an overthinker. Like I can look at something and just like think of 20 different things that could go wrong and right. So I would like to be prepared. I like to have plan A, B, Z, and then start all over. So for that, it really it's a little bit of a hindrance because I feel like I could do more if I wasn't that. But at the same time, it helps me do what I do because I overthink and want to make sure things are good for my guest and myself and everything is ready. That's why I don't really have any complications when I do my interviews or anything, because it's like I'm already ready. Right. Something screws up. But far as like for mental health, it's just really tough. And to cope with it, I think of what could the greatness that can happen if I keep going. Even when I'm crawling on the floor, just boohoo crying. And if it's like, if you crawl one more step, you may got it. But if you stop, you failed. Like stopping is failure. So even though I feel like I failed, but if I move an inch, that was an accomplishment that I didn't do before. That's how I think.
I don't know who that message for, but it's for somebody, and it's for me too, because I am taking that in. You know, we always go through that, especially in entertainment. You know, I didn't know how to put myself out there, or even with this show, but you know, I just took a step and I trust the process, and I just kept going, and just hearing you, I mean, again, you're my inspiration. So hearing you say, "Hey, look, I'm taking these steps, and I don't even know," you know. It makes me feel like I can keep going. You know what I mean? And so thank you for not stopping. Thank you for not, throwing in the towel.
It is a tough thing not to, I mean, like there are moments where I'm just like, man, forget this. Like life is tough. Why am I here? Like, why am I breathing? Like because I don't have a family. I don't have kids. It's just me and horror and my cat.
It. I love it.
But it's just a tough place, you know, recently getting out of a relationship and dealing with that for so long. And it's tough. It's tough. Now the business part, like this whole thing, I'm a one-woman show. There is nobody helping me. And some people think that. They're like, oh my God, all these graphics, all these. No, it is all me. So if I don't do it, I fail. There's nobody else with me to say, oh, I'll catch up the slack. No, there's nothing. That's it.
And I was going to ask you this question. It's like, how much work and commitment do you have to put into your work? Because I'm trying to tell you guys, you know, just being on your website, being on your YouTube channel and your live, it's a lot of work.
For one person.
For one person. And I'm like, yo, I need y'all to do this. Hey, Kat, I need you to go ahead and put up. And when they don't do it, I'm like, I said. But like, I give you mad props for that because it's only you. And I remember on your live, I was just chilling with you. And I'm like, I want to see what Yupthats is doing. And she was like, you guys, it's a lot. I'm still editing. I'm still going. And I'm just like, girl. So how much commitment and work do you have to put in for your show?
Even if you're working or not, I'm gonna put, even though at the time I'm not working as of yet, so I put all my time in this, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to do that. But you have to put in 1,000%. You have to eat, sleep, what you're doing. I mean, that is true. Like I would hear it from billionaires, millionaires, you know, people got businesses, and then I would read their little bios and stuff. And I say that, and they say like, you have to do that. It's just something. And I was like, yeah, right. Back in the day. And then when I started doing this, it's like, I'm going to sleep. Oh my God, I got to finish that. I'm waking up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I got to get on the computer. I got to do this. Yeah. You literally have to eat, sleep, wake up, nightmares, dreams, go sleep, every second. Cooking, I'm thinking. I mean, it's crazy.
Non-stop.
It's nonstop. And mind you, I'm not getting paid for this.
Labor of
So
love.
my commitment is something that I love in hopes it brings in income. So that's one reason why I can't stop, because I'm so far in it
Yeah.
without a cent to my name that I feel like if I stop just to find this other sense somewhere else, I failed, because it's like I have that name now.
Right, right.
So
And that responsibility and kind of, and so like, so business wise, you want to see this take shape and financially be a blessing. That's great.
yeah.
One of the reasons why I played that video in the beginning is because you were so authentic. You were so like, and that's one thing I love about you, because you lay it all on the line. You're like, I don't have nothing to hide. Like, this is
Right.
who I am. I mess up. I mess people's names up. I'm worried about this, worried about that. And I felt like I was doing the same thing. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. I told, I believe our first episode, and Gerard and Scaredy Cat can co-sign with me on this. We didn't have a guest, and I was like fighting to find someone, scrambling. And they're like, yo, well, it's our first show. Like, don't have a guest. Let's just have us. And I was like,
Right.
oh, and I had to reformat the show where we could just chill and let the audience get to know us. And so, do you find that you have to be adaptable for changes and things, flipping, on you at the last minute? Because you say you overthink things, and sometimes I can overthink things, and when things don't plan out, I'm like stressing out because it didn't plan out the way I want it to. Do you feel so in this field you have to be adaptable to change?
Yeah, you have to. Yes, and the overthinking is it doesn't stop me, like it doesn't hinder me trying to get somewhere. I think what it does, I had to learn when to use it. But but I'm still an overthinker. It's when to use it, because that's a kind of a a tough one.
Well, I mean, I just felt like there's some things that don't
you have to be relatable. I mean, you
Okay.
really do have to be relatable to someone, and no matter if you have one fan, one follower, or millions, you still have to be relatable.
Right.
Because I find myself once in a while, I used to compare myself like really bad to everybody above me, because I was like, oh, I want to get there, but they've been doing it for 10 years. They've been doing it for 15 years, and I'm just like 2 years in. So it's really, really hard, because you want to get there so fast, and then you find yourself doing 1,000 things to get there so fast, and then along the way you're leaving a terrible trail of mishaps.
Right.
So it's tough, as long as you're relatable. I mean, it doesn't matter how entertaining you can be. If people can't relate to you, no one's going to give a damn.
Right.
So, yeah.
With horror trending as such as a high, we have so much content, so many movies, so much events coming out. Do you find yourself with excess amount of work, like with just too much work to handle? Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I don't know how you do it by yourself. I mean, I really don't, but it's a lot. And then when people pull at you and you can't make it to events, and how do you deal with that?
I cry.
Simple.
I cry. No, literally, I sit there and I was just like, oh, I do need help. But then again, I'm kind of a perfectionist, but not. It's weird. It's like it has to be done this way or no way. But then I am like, I'm not like that like all the time. But I've been doing this by myself for so long. It's like I know what I like and what I like. And if I fail, I don't want to bring anyone with me. I mean, I don't know. It's just a sad thing to say, but yeah, like right now, it's busy. October's busy, and I haven't even been anywhere. I haven't even done anything
Same here.
outside of the computer.
I heard that you're not doing nothing for like October. Like, what's going on? Wait, hold up, you guys. She said that she has nothing to do for October.
Yeah, I
For
haven't
Halloween.
been-
I'm like, no.
Wait. Okay, wait.
So hold on a second.
Okay.
I may have forgotten.
Okay,
something.
so I haven't had plans. Like I haven't gone to any horror anything. Like I haven't. And I'm Son of Monsterpalooza is next week, and it's the first one I won't be going to. And everybody, a lot of people that I know personally got to know are going. I mean, Bobby Aarons is going, Barbara Craft. I mean Bonnie. Did I say Barbara? Bonnie Aarons, and then Barbara Crampton and Dead Meat. Like everybody's gonna be there, and I'm not. For several different reasons, but I'm not gonna share what they are. But it's just, right now it's just tough because, like I said, I'm not getting paid for anything. So everything comes, every penny, cent, dime I find goes into everything. All the equipment, camera, lights. It came out of my pocket when I was working last year, and I don't work right now, so everything is just extremely, extremely tight.
I hear that. So will you go to an event for Halloween, or are you going to be inside watching a horror movie?
I'm not going anywhere. The only one I may go to is I did get invited to a really cool Halloween party that I can't miss because it was a completely unexpected invitation, and I was just like, at first I was like, I don't think I could go, and then I just sat there and I was talking with the friend, and they were like, come on, you can't miss that's epic. So yeah. That's the only thing I'm going to do. Other than that, I'm not doing anything.
Okay, because I'm gonna say, like, you got to do something. You got to get out. You know what I mean? And
but I have a lot. I have edit. I got
stuff
two
to do.
interviews.
Yeah,
you got too much. Yeah, I got work now. I got work.
You got all this.
Sorry, go ahead, Gerard.
No, you go ahead. Ladies first.
So, who have you not interviewed that you are wanting to interview?
Woo. Okay, let's see. Number one, Jordan Peele.
Say that again.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Come on, Jordan. Evil Trans is ready.
I know. I don't know why it hasn't even happened because I am right there. Like he is doing his thing and I'm parallel. It's like I'm right there and it's not getting closer. It gets right there and it goes away. So I mean, he's following me on Twitter.
Nice.
And I'm, really good with Monkey Paw Productions. So it's just like it's all right there. I'm just waiting that moment.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Remember, YupThatsScary. It's gonna happen.
That might be the moment I fangirl a little bit.
I want to be there. Can I watch? Can I
be here too?
Can I fanboy with you? I'm like,
But he's very professional. He's very I was like, okay, I'll probably do it off camera and be screaming and then be like, hello, welcome to Horror.
Let's go. That's what we do.
Right.
So
could you record the behind the scenes of that? I just please for
I started I want to start doing that. I think it'd be fun to start doing that. But I actually thought of doing something like that. I just don't know when I'll actually do that. Okay, so it's number 2 is Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
he scares me.
Yeah, he's way over the top.
But
what's in there?
His writing, I have to pick his brain because the dialogue in his films is just nothing to be going on. And they're just having a conversation and you're just like glued to the screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know how he does it, but it takes him gazillion years to write this stuff. He's such a good writer. There's others. I can't even remember their names. Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
because I just think he'd just be a blast.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
these are not all of them are in horror. It's like The Rock.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Can you
It just
smell
seemed
it?
like, oh my god, I just have a great time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
Nice.
Oh, hello. Yes.
Yeah,
And he's coming
him
back in the
in The
scene.
Mummy was
Yep.
just. But see, when he was in, was it Bedazzled or whatever? Oh my god, I was like, I have such a crush on him. You don't really hear about that movie that much, but
No.
he was funny as hell in it. So, but anyway, there's so many. Oprah's one of them.
Oh, come on. The Oprah of horror has to interview Oprah Winfrey. Like, come on, let's
Come on now.
do it.
I'm waiting to the point where the Oprah of horror hits her scene. It's just, she's like,
Yeah.
who is this?
Right. Right.
It'll get there. I feel like it'll get there.
Yeah.
So I got a question. You review a lot of movies and stuff. Have you ever? The reason I got to ask this because this is very recently. This has happened. You ever like watched a movie and you're mad at it because you just wasted 90 minutes of your life right there watching that movie? Because man, I feel like last night or the night I wasted 90 minutes. I even forgot what day I watched this movie because we're going to talk about this movie here very soon later on in the show. And
Say the movie.
it's Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I wasted 90 minutes of my life watching that movie. Oh,
okay,
God.
now save your comments. But what do you?
You ever get like mad? I get
Yep.
mad.
Well,
Very.
there's something interesting about my movie reviews. So there's the movie review where you sit there and you talk about a movie just by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you listen to my interviews with the guests, I'm reviewing their movie to them with them, even though they are the director, writer, the producer. So it may appear that I've only reviewed a certain amount, but every interview is a review of their movie. So
Right.
yeah, I completely review it, like, and they reviewing their own movie.
Right.
Based on the questions I asked them.
You totally put that in a different perspective for me, and I'm just soaking it up. But thank you. Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
For a movie that has completely wasted my time, there's plenty because I've watched some. Oh my god! But if I'm watching a film, wait, am I supposed to say the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is uncensored. This is real. This is what it is.
There's one movie that was recent that I watched all the way through, and I just sat there and just like, okay,
Say it. Say the
why? Oh, it's Halloween Ends. No,
What?
Kills.
Oh, I was about to say. Wait a
Kills.
second.
Halloween Kills. Yeah, not
You
Ends.
didn't like
Kills.
it? Oh my gosh!
And what? There's two. There's
Right.
Halloween Kills.
You didn't like Evil Dies Tonight.
and
Evil Dies
Texas
Tonight.
Chainsaw Massacre. The Netflix one?
Netflix one. I didn't like that either.
Oh.
I've given up on those movies.
Oh.
You got to give up. There's 15
Right here on
of them. Go watch
YupThatsScary,
the
y'all.
first 5 of each of
Okay,
those and be done.
This is deep.
Halloween Kills. I think what killed it for me, it didn't kill it. Like, it was entertaining because everybody was acting so dumb. I think
true.
that was the part that
It'll kill it.
From the scene at the park, it's like,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
logically that doesn't make any sense if you
It didn't make any
compare
sense.
to
You're right.
any slasher film, and then them chasing this little guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not 6 feet tall, and he wouldn't, and Michael Myers wouldn't be moving.
Right.
I don't know. It was,
But the chanting
evil
did it get
dies there was no
tonight, yeah.
dialogue. It was just evil dies tonight. Michael dies tonight. Dies tonight. Dies tonight. That was.
I'll say
the
one
entire
more.
script.
One more. I was gonna throw a chair. I was gonna flip a table if I heard one more chanting. I mean, I was done. I went to bed saying, "Evil dies tonight." Evil.
Yeah, and the close to the last scene where they had him surrounded and none of them could get him, I was like, the whole town.
I mean,
he just took
that
the whole
wasn't even
town out
realistic.
like it was dead alive,
Yeah.
He's a human. He's not.
This is
he's
good.
A human.
You guys, I'm having so much fun with Evil Trez.
But you know what? On that part too, I thought, how the hell are they beating the shit out of him right here? And the cops are in the fucking front of this goddamn house, and no one knows what's going on. Like, come on. Like some stuff, I love the movie, but some stuff I could have taken the fuck out because.
Yeah.
And that's
why I hope the ends. I just hope. Now, for the Texas one, it didn't make any sense because if you watch them all, I watched them all, even the remake. Some the ones in this, way back, I barely could remember them, but I remember what it is, and watching. Okay, now. When they got to the house and the old lady was, they come in the house and doing whatnot. And at the top of the stairs is supposed to be Leatherface. And he is competent to the point that when she tells him to go away, he goes away into the next room. And then they all get into, after she just like have a heart attack or something, he picks her up, put her in the ambulance. I mean, the van. The van. Yeah. And he's competent to try to save her. And then he gets angry and then they get in an accident. He rips her face off and wear it. I'm like, when was he ever competent?
No.
That's the part that got me. And some of the scenes just didn't make any sense. When they're in the van, there's some supernatural magic going on because he was in the van. No, they were in the van, the truck or whatever, the bus, and they're trying to take off. The guy stops the truck, gets off, runs out back of the truck. All of a sudden, his head comes flying into the bus. But remember, he went to the back, and then you see Leatherface coming from the back. I mean,
the continuity, it doesn't make sense
around.
Right, the magic of editing.
No, it's not even editing, or I don't even know if the translation of the script or production meets post-production. It is just because you have a producer or you have a story producer with you do that transformation. I mean, we're just talking about production work, and they have to try to make sure the continuity just flows, right? But at that point, what do you do when the continuity is just so weird and you're like, wait, hold up, and you're trying to make it make sense to you, right?
Well, you should watch that movie again because if you watch it again, you'll see a couple of movies in it. There's the Friday the 13th. Like if you remember when he was in the water and he climbed out the water, it was a straight scene out of Friday the 13th. And then the whole the chainsaw thing up the lady's stomach in the air. Where exactly did you see that? Halloween Kills with the firemen is exactly the same
thing. Do you think they intentionally bite from each other, or do you think that they just somehow like have the same thought process? Because
there's no same thought process. There's influence. There's people who can influence your films. Like you find inspiration. That's why when I say watch the Mortuary Collection, and you will see Tales from the Hood, but it's not exactly. You'll see the inspiration. But this one just looked like he just took whatever he could and wrote it and put it in there. I mean,
and some people do that because of pressure of production. Money's thrown at you, and they got a timeline, a short timeline. They do bite. I mean, that is true. I've seen that myself.
I just kind of feel like don't do it. Don't ruin the original. If you want to expand it and you want to elaborate on that actual movie, then cool. But don't fucking start changing.
But Kat, we
shit,
worked with Jason Blum.
Yeah.
We worked with Jason Blum before, and at the time of pressure and funds, and you got to make something happen to make sure that the return of investment comes back. Right. We don't care what it is, make it happen. We don't care how you get it done, make it happen. So we've been in that boat, me and you, personally. So I get that from a writer's standpoint when they're like, "Oh shoot, studio's calling, this is not done," you know. So I do get that. What's your happy place? Ivotres, is it sitting in the movie or driving and you're watching a really good movie? Like, what's your happy place? It may not even be a movie. It may be taking a bath. I mean, that was my happy place this morning. What's yours? I sure did.
I don't really have a happy place yet.
Okay.
Yet. I have a temporary happy place, which is this.
Okay.
So, like a permanent happy place, not yet.
Haven't found it yet.
No.
When you're in a good movie, do you find yourself talking back at the movie screen like Gerard and Scaredy Cat?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
And me, I throw myself in there.
Now it depends. It depends because, like, okay, because see, I grew up in the time where you go to the theater, no one is quiet. unless it's like Titanic, you know,
right?
Everybody's crying and stuff.
Everyone's
like that.
Dying, yeah.
Or Armageddon, you know, the sad part about her, you know, her dad up there. So, but other than that, but I grew up where Scream. I went to the theater to see Scream, the first one.
Okay,
amazing.
It was. Oh my God! Yeah. I mean, it was. Don't go up the stairs and clap it. It was normal. So it depends on the feel of the movie, I guess. But if I'm at home, I'm mostly quiet. I don't mostly, or I have that moment like, ugh, why did they do that? Like I'll have my,
me too,
you know. But other than that, it's like it just depends. Now, horror is not the only reason I go to the theater. I rarely go to the theater to watch horror movies. I know that's weird. But Marvel, I am there.
Oh,
Marvel, I've seen all except for Love and Thunder. That was at the theater. And I saw Love and Thunder here at home. But other than
now
that,
what do you thought about that? That was
I saw the very first Iron Man in the theater all the way through to Captain America to Avengers in the theater. Yeah, I was one of those. Don't tell me what's gonna happen because I'm when the Spider-Man, I remember the three old Spider-Mans theater, even number 3.
We saw that one. Yeah.
Number 3 has this, you know, it's we're not gonna talk about 3.
No.
I don't know what happened. But number 2, Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was just mind-blowing. But I was the Amazing Spider-Man. I love him. That is, I think he's my favorite one. Andrew. It's just, I don't know. Okay. Tom Holland. I know we're supposed to be talking about horror. Hold on.
No, we can segue for a minute.
It's okay.
But believe it or not, I like Marvel too. I'm all over the place. I'm a person that likes,
You like entertainment. You like movies.
Yeah,
of course.
So, but Tom Holland is good. He's great. But I was the one for No Way Home that was staying up to 4 a.m. getting my tickets.
I love it.
So I was, I was there. Yeah.
I gotta say,
looking at that.
That movie has probably been the biggest movie almost of this generation, if you think about it. It's the first one that's brought 2 canceled franchise and brought them back to a whole new remake. If you think about it, that is astronomical. Like, when did the last Spider-Man 2 come out? Spider-Man 3 come out? That came out in what? 2000 and I don't even remember. It was early. It's been over 10 years, and that's incredible doing that. And they brought back the greatest Marvel villain of all times. Green Goblin.
What's his name? And he did his own stunts.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes. That was the
did not know
only
that.
reason he wanted to come back. He had to
That's
be able
cool.
to do his own stunts. I forgot his name. I could see his face.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, there we go.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
You
Look,
can't forget his face.
If I was an actor, I would want to do my own stunts too. I mean, I am an actor.
Old as dirt, but that
Yeah.
was him. All
That's
that movement
cool.
was him.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Kat.
So, question: what's the last scary movie you've seen?
Oh, you mean scary?
Yes.
Horror movie.
Okay, horror movie. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm being complicated. When you mean scary movie, like something that's scary that scared me, or just in general horror movie that I just looked at?
You know what? That's a good one. I want to
That's a
know
good question.
the last
Yeah.
movie that scared the shit out of you.
Ooh-wee.
Let's go there.
Now, I have to think way back.
Oh no!
What? You that immune to scary movies?
Well, okay, there's different levels of scary, but I'm going to choose one that scared me. Like I was scared, and I have a funny story.
Okay.
Candyman. 1982.
Oh.
Okay.
I was 12.
Yeah, that movie was horrifying.
What is with people taking children to horror movies?
Hey, that's the way to go. No, don't have no parents. Okay.
I can't say that.
The kids today are wimps. Okay, back
You
in
better
the day,
You better.
Let me explain something. Let me explain.
Go ahead.
So I saw a lot of horror movies as a child by myself, like not by myself, but like with my sister or a friend or my niece,
Right?
With no parental supervision.
Nope.
You did not need your parents with you. They didn't enforce that until 96, 97.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would just go buy your ticket and go look at the scariest stuff. I mean, that's
what it was. And I mean, I worked for AMC. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I did events with AMC parallel with that, which was a satellite type of deal, and then also they was like, okay, look, this is not going to work, but we still want to keep you be a manager at this theater. So I was a manager for a small amount of time at AMC. And one of the things they were like, when the young kids would buy that scary movie, I didn't care. I was like, come on in. And my general manager and the district manager, whoa, where's their parents and how old are they? I'm like, I don't care. Look, I would do it. Let's go in with their friends and enjoy and scream and eat some popcorn, throw it up in the air. Like that's what it's all about. Yeah, man, you are right. We do got a bunch of punks this generation.
They didn't enforce it. It kind of was in play, but it didn't really like you need your parents until like 90, 96, 97, and then more theaters started enforcing it. So I saw a lot of horror movies.
So did I.
But like as a kid, you bring a bunch of kids, you walk in there, scare each other to death. I mean, it was just normal. Now come 99 and all that stuff, where all those movies start, a lot of horror movies, and I want to say between 98, 99, 2000, 2001 is where a lot of horror movies started pumping out. The remakes, really, like you have House on Haunted Hill, you have 13 Ghosts. I mean, it was really starting to, and you have Halloween H2O. Yeah. So, there I was of age. I didn't need a parent or anything. Right. So yeah. It was.
What is your next project? What do you got going on?
It's funny you should say that. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to say too much about it because they didn't tell that I haven't signed anything yet, and they didn't tell me, so I don't want to like ruin it because they, we trusted you. No, I was approached by the producer of he did Stay Out of the Attic and Glorious that recently came out, and he said, hey, what do you think about this script? And I read it, and he was like, I want to bring you on as a producer. And I was like,
what?
Yeah, go ahead, let's go. But
I was like,
no.
I was like, wait. And I interviewed him twice on my show with Glorious and Stay Out of the Attic. And so the horror world is this small.
Yep.
It is this small. And that's another thing. You guys are starting out. I don't know if you're starting out. I don't know. But I'm just saying, don't burn your bridges. Like, if someone is giving you a hard time, just move on to the next. Never give anyone an attitude. Never, ever, ever. You never know who they know.
Right.
Never bring up names. Like, if you're having a hard time with someone and you really want to address, unless it's like something racial or they're discriminating against you, or like it's blatantly and you have witnesses and it's like this person's bad and you have evidence, then if you say their name, power to but if it's just something that's just like they just brush you off and give you attitude through emails or something, just never say their name. You never know, because the person that goes on your show that you ask may be best friends with them,
right?
And they'll say something. Yeah, it's now if it's a different drama, I mean a genre, probably no one is huge, but horror is this tiny. So yeah, he asked me, and he was like, I'm gonna have you in charge of all this stuff, and I have a meeting on Tuesday with him and the director. And the director, this is how small the world is. The director of that film was the producer of Tales from the Hood.
Wow.
What? See how small?
Yeah. Look at that.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
How excited are you? Oh my gosh.
Look, mad props to you.
Absolutely.
Mad props to your dedication, your commitment to the work, to the genre, to the community. You are so awesome. I am so blessed to have you on the show. You guys, check her out. Horror Movies and Beyond. Yupthats. Hey, before we let you go, can we play a game with you? Can we play a trivia game?
She's all, I gotta go.
Yeah, as long as it's multiple choice. I'm terrible at coming up with this.
It's not, but we got clues. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. It's gonna be a good game. We love playing games here. But after this message, we're gonna play a game with Yupthats. Okay, Yupthats, listen. We have a monster trivia of villains for you. We have 6 horror villains that you have to guess correctly in 66 seconds. You see what we did there? Each villain has up to 3 clues that we're going to give you. Gerard, keep the time. Gerard and Kat, get your clues ready. Yupthats, are you ready?
No.
You'll be fine. We got you. Okay.
My mind doesn't work that way.
Oh, it's gonna, trust me, it's gonna work because we got you. The people that's watching, we got you. All right, let's play a game. Wanna play a game?
All right, here we go. I'm starting now.
What do I?
Okay, so
What it is?
So I'm going to give you the clue. Are you ready? Okay. Once a respected psychiatrist, he killed at least 7 people and eaten them. hence his nickname.
Is it Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah!
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Woo! All right, next one. Here we go. Next one. Are you ready?
Lucky one.
Okay. Oh, this is me? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this one, he could be Edward Scissorhands' cousin.
Freddy Krueger?
Let's go!
Nailed it.
You know what's so funny? Is this the clue up here? Because I'm not even looking at that.
Yes, you got Silver Blake. It's all right. We got this. All right, here we go. Next one.
He has a new TV series coming out.
Chucky.
Nailed it.
Let's go, girl. Let's go.
Okay, he loves blood. He has his own brand of cereal.
Oh, Count Dracula.
Handle
Let's
it!
Nailed
Count Dracula or Count Chocula or something?
You right for a second. Count Dracula.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same guy. All right, is this me?
Yep.
No, this is you, Gerard. No, this is me.
No,
Okay,
it's
you gotta say his name. Say my name. Say my name. You gotta say his name.
Candyman.
Yeah!
No.
There you go.
Woo! All right, next one. Here we go.
Gerard, last one.
A Rob Zombie film.
Ooh.
So it's a person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a person.
It's a character.
Oh, it's a character.
We should have
Yeah.
fucking said that. Yeah, it's
Right.
a character.
Yeah, it's
Next
a character. He loves chickens.
Oh.
She knows it. I know she knows it.
It's Captain
How-
Spaulding.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Look, when I got this, I was like, man, I hope she gets everything. You got it right. You had this. You had it in the back. I just want to say thank you so much for being on our show. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for the inspiration. And we're so happy to have you. You guys, follow her. Please follow her. Go to Horror Movies and Beyond. Like, share, and check her out. She has some amazing interviews on YouTube, and support her. Okay. What else? Where else can we find you? That's www.horrormoviesandbeyond.com.
Yes, yeah.
All
It
right.
has everything on there. It has even my my other show.
Oh,
I'm hoping that comes back out next year. Actually, it will
okay.
next year.
What is that about?
That one's called Prater Natural Mysteries, where
Oh, yes.
I explore the supernatural, the paranormal, and the unexplained.
Handle it.
Oh my God.
Oh yes.
Well, I'm going to have you back on the show to talk about that as well.
Yeah, there's episodes already on there with my co-host, Dr. Lovey, who specializes in the parapsychology or something like that. Yeah, so
Nice.
we've talked about, all the like what happens when you die, the haunted chest, the gloomy Sunday, the haunted song. If you say it, it's supposed to curse you, and I actually say the words on there.
What?
Oh,
You know,
wow.
hey. She's a brave woman. Dude,
She
no
is.
movie has scared her since like 97 or whatever she said it was. I can't remember. But nothing has scared her. Before she goes to bed, she challenges all the ghosts and the demons in the house. All right. That's the type of woman right there. I believe in her.
Let me tell you, I believe in her too. I believe in her so much that I was talking to an executive from Sci-Fi about you.
What?
I'm not going to say it yet. I want to have a conversation with you first. But I was having a conversation about an executive from Sci-Fi and a production company that wanted to do a pitch. We'll be bringing that soon. Let me tell you, a lot is happening that's for your good. Keep going, because you don't know, and it's going to break. All right? All right. I'm so happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much for the time. And we'll be talking to you soon. YupThatsScary Little! Thank you so much. Woo! Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. I am.
Amazing.
I
Oh
gotta
my
say,
gosh. Having her.
I loved it. Like the whole time, I just want to keep listening to her, the way she talked, and not only that, but she was so real as an individual. She had those stories, and then like I don't think that nothing can scare that woman. You know, the way some of the things she was talking about.
She's real,
right?
Yeah,
and she comes with it. And the thing is, when she first came on the scene, the horror scene, I was like, "Who is this? Who is this that has my same complexion and is in it?" Because you guys have to understand, when I was in it with, and Kat, this, dealing with Jason and Rob Zombie and all this stuff. I'm the only young black producer, and I'm just trying to get it going. And I dealt with so much, but to see someone else there with me, I'm just like, I'm watching you, and I watched her from a distance where I wasn't a distraction, or I wasn't, and she has inspired me to come out even with this podcast, and I'm so glad to have her on the show. You guys have no idea, and she's just a huge beacon, and I'm so happy to have her. So I'm glad to share her with you guys too. So.